What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys have never seen me before, my name is Zach, at Zach Riley on Instagram. I have been in the makeup industry for about 9 years. I started my career with MAC back in 2012, and I find myself here on YouTube with you guys. So today I am going to give you a male grooming routine because male grooming is one of my favorite topics, and I feel like along the way and throughout my career, I found some really great products that work really well on guys' skin just to keep it looking nice and natural that you can wear every single day and make it pretty undetectable. So here we go. I prepped my skin with a little bit of Tropez, the Express Tan. It's been on for about 45 minutes now, so I have some good color going on. I just got back from vacation. That's why I've been on such a long hiatus of filming. So I figured I would dive in and bring you guys a pretty good look. Alright, so I'm going to start out with some foundation. I have the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation here for us. This is one of my favorite foundations for male grooming because it really allows the skin to shine through the product, and the product just enhances your natural complexion. It doesn't do too much to mask it, which I think is so beautiful about this product because when you're a guy, generally, you don't want a full face of foundation on, and if you do, you probably want it to look a little bit natural, but guess what? If you don't and you want a full coverage look, then go ahead and rock that because I sure rock it all the time. So for this look in particular, it's going to be pretty natural. It's something that I would wear if I were shooting content or going to a business meeting. So let's dive in. I am going to use the Morphe. This is their M439 brush just to buff this in and give me a nice even coverage. Alright, so just using my brush and a little bit of foundation, what I like to do is just pump a bit onto my brush itself and then buff it right into the skin. That way you can kind of build as you go. I always like to say it's super easy to add in makeup. It's very hard to subtract without having to redo anything. So just build as you go, work with a very small amount of product, buff it into the skin, build it up to your desired coverage or finish. And yeah, super simple. Alright, so now that my foundation is on, I am going to use the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. This is my favorite to achieve a super natural, super blended look. I like to apply this with my fingers. I honestly just go right into it with my finger. I like to warm it up and then tap it in to my under eye. And I have super dark under eyes, so for me, finding a good concealer is everything. And this one is like my everyday go-to, because no matter how quickly I put it on or how tired I may look, it always looks pretty good. And I always take it right around my nose too, just because I tend to get a little bit red. So we just get like a super blended look, and I'm good to go for my next step. Now it is time to set my face. What I'm going to use is the Hourglass Transparent Finishing Powder, and I'm going to use the Jeffree Star JS2 brush to apply it. And just kind of hit the under eye to set it. Alright, so now that my setting powder is on, I'm set, I'm looking less shiny, there's less texture, all my little imperfections have now vanished because the Hourglass setting veil literally does take away all of your sins. So now it's time for some bronzer. This is the MAC Matte Bronzer. We're going to use the JS2 that we just used for our setting veil to apply this bad boy. And like, it's just a really good bronzer, especially for guys who literally want something with no shine, no sparkle, no nothing. It's a good option. I usually start pretty high up in my cheekbone and just kind of blend. And just really work in like big circular motions to diffuse the product. Don't go too far down on the cheek because sometimes it can kind of make you look too hollow. It can kind of age you a bit, so avoid it. How we looking? I support this bronzer. Sometimes I like find something in my like makeup room that I haven't used in a really long time, and then I use it again and then like wonder why I stopped using it in the first place. And I feel like this is definitely one of those products. It's honestly just like a good basic bronzer. She's basic, but she's cute. Give that gel some definition. Good. All right, so next step is super optional, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't include this in this video. This is the Becca Maui Nights bronzer. It is my go-to, love of my life, super, super red bronzer that gives you kind of like a sunburnt look, which I super live for. I think so far, any video I've ever made, I've used this in. I cannot get enough of this, and oh my god, it's just perfect. So, very sparingly, if you do choose to do this step, which you don't have to do, because if you don't want to add any other color to your skin, don't. I mean, if you want it to be super monochromatic and you just want to be all one color with a bit of bronzer, go for it. But I like to put a little bit of color into my skin. I like skin that looks like it's been sun-kissed and just has a little bit of life to it. So I discovered this bad boy and we have been in love with each other ever since. So this is like a reddish undertone bronzer with like this gold overlay. So there's this kind of gold reflex pigment in it that just adds a lot of luminosity and kind of life into the skin. I put this right on the highest points of my cheeks. Think of if the sun's rays were kind of coming down and just right on your face, they're probably going to hit the highest points of it. So I just kind of super lightly buff this into the highest points of my face. And you want to think about it too, like if you've ever gone to the gym and gotten like, I don't know, a little bit of like flush to your face and it gets a little red and you look super cute. That's what you want to go for. It just gives you a little something extra. All right, so aside from the highest points of my cheeks, what I like to do is just hit a little bit of my forehead, down my nose. And you honestly don't have to be perfect with this because if you were to just get like a natural like flush to the skin, it's not going to be perfect. All right, so for my final step, brows. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in shade Top, just to give my brows a little something. I like to start right on the front of my brow and then work back and then kind of fill in. So just starting right at the front, at the base of the brow where your hair begins to grow, just lightly pull the product back. And you're kind of just creating an underscore. And this just gives the illusion of like a super clean brow. It literally just fills in any, you know, negative space and makes the brow look nice and clean, nice and sharp. And then right on the top of my brow, I have like a little bit of, I don't know, baldness. So what I like to do is just fill that by working forward. And then boom, good brow. And just to set the brow, this is the Anastasia brow wax. This one has no color, and I love it just because it kind of acts like a pomade for your brow. It just kind of like tames them a bit and kind of slicks them down. Alright, so this look is done. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, please comment below. Head on over to Instagram and follow me at Zach Riley, and I will see you soon.